Hello and welcome back to the Car Throttle Podcast, where Ethan, Jack and I read out your emails, act as your automotive agony uncles, and discuss unpopular opinions. This week, we're joined by a man with over 10 million subscribers, his own book, and a penchant for naff ties. It is, of course, Mr. Colin Furze. How you doing?
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah.
Did I get all that right?
What was that? A penchant?
A penchant.
It's a good job you're in it. I'd have wrote that as penchant. I was looking at that, and then you said penchant. I was like, I'm glad I've not got a script.
That's why you do video and not reading.
Yeah, this is true.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. We're all in the bunker, which is nice. We're
Yeah.
out of the way of the sunshine and all the weather and stuff.
I was about to say, we're not in Mike Brewer's unit today.
No.
We are actually in your bunker. And tell me a little bit about it quickly.
Well, this is Colin Furze bunker. This is one of my more popular projects.
Yeah.
It was built in 2015. It looks the same as the day we built it. It's never leaked. It's not rusty. As you know, it's nice and cool down here. It's not
Very.
too hot. It's quite a cosy, nice place to be. It is the man cave to beat all man caves.
Yeah, and you recently shot another video with it, and that's gone mental.
Yes, in lockdown, I thought I'd give people a bit of an update because after I made the Corona isolation box, which was kind of like a bit of a piss take, it's like a deformed rabbit hutch. And everyone was like, what do you need that for, Colin? You've got a bunker. And I thought, a lot of people asking about it. I'll give them an update. It was kind of a video with no content, nearly, because I was like, there's nothing to update. It's the same.
Yeah.
It just looks the same. But, people were asking for it. So I just chucked it online, just flippantly. It just went crazy. Got like 20 million views in a week. It was like nuts. Absolutely nuts.
We're in the wrong business. Aren't we?
With the way 2020's going, though, this is the safest I've felt all year being in here.
True. Yeah. True. Even with me next to you.
Well, that ruins it a little bit.
It just makes it sexy. Anyway, before we read out your stories, we're going to find out what we've been up to recently. So, Colin, tell me something. What's happened in your life recently that you
What
want to
I've
tell
been
everyone?
up to, what you've been up to.
Oh, you can tell Ben.
Because that's what you just said, what you've been up to. And then you asked me, and I don't know what you've done.
All right, so we'll skip that bit about me. Colin, what have you been up to?
I've been filming the last part of my screw tank video. I've had a small issue with that. It's the automatic Apple potato firing gun I've made for it turns out it's a highly illegal weapon. So I've had to apply for some papers and
So what will actually happen with that? Why is it illegal?
It's got too much power, basically.
Oh.
You can't make anything that shoots anything with more than 12 foot-pounds of force.
Not even if you're shooting it in your own bunker?
Apparently not.
Oh.
So it is still an illegal weapon.
What I love about that is instead of modifying it so it's not as powerful, you just got to apply for the papers.
Oh, yes. Well, it's such a nice piece of engineering. It'd be a shame to, to
definitely.
destroy it.
How did you actually find out it was illegal? Did you just walk around town?
No, the
Fast
five
response.
the 5-0 basically rang me up about 2 days after the video went live. So, but they've been really good actually because they kind of understand what I do and kind of want to support it. So I can't knock them for it really. Rather than coming and arresting me.
Yeah. Has that ever happened?
Yes. Really? Yes.
Oh.
On 2010, I put a flamethrower on the back of a moped and then had loads of photos of me firing it off outside the house on the road. And then they went in like loads of newspapers. And then some of the newspapers, but it was their fault. I'm blaming them. They badged it up as like, don't tell this guy, this guy's got like James Bond flamethrowers on the back of his moped. And I don't know if they'd had complaints of like people worried that, if they come up behind me, I'd smoke their cars or whatever. So I got a call. I was at work. I was doing a bit of plumbing because that's what I used to do. And I got the phone call from the police. I don't know how to get my number. But rang me up. Hello, is that Colin? This is whoever it was. Where are you? Can we come and see you? And I was like, I'm just at this house at the moment, like doing some plumbing sort of thing. And I was like, come around in about an hour's time. I literally bombed straight home sort of thing. And was like,
hide the evidence.
Yeah, like, what shall I do? And then they pulled up literally like 5 minutes later. And then the first thing he said to me was like, hello, have you got a firearms license? And I was like, no. So then mate, he arrested me and he was shaking. He was absolutely shaking, this guy. I was like, are you all right? I was like, I think I should be shaking. You're arresting me. And it was like, and it said that it was his first ever arrest.
Really?
Yeah. And I still sometimes see him around town. A couple of years back, I saw him and a load of probably his policeman mates were waiting to pick an Indian up. And I come in there and they were all like, hey, it's your first arrest sort of thing. And they were all really good. So I basically, they put me through the process. And essentially told me afterwards, if you're going to do stuff like that, don't like slap it all over the newspapers and stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's kind of the job, really.
Yeah, you can't really avoid it these days.
No. So, but no, it's all good. You know, getting it all sorted.
What
So-
a first arrest for him.
Yeah.
I know.
He's done well though.
He was probably more worried your belt was going to like cut him in half.
Well, this is it. You see, there's a whole number of things that have existed since then that you could class as.
What are you hiding in your headphones? You could probably put something in there.
Well, we've got brand new headphones
We
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
because we've had Corona comes through your ears, so we're
It's
protected.
it's the first port of call for Corona. Anyway, in my life, I sold Frank. How do you feel about that?
You sold Frank,
Yeah.
the blooming MX-5.
No. Close. No, I'll never sell that. E34, 525, non-Vanos touring.
Oh, of course, you're the one that I sold you.
No, that was,
Because you literally.
another
I mean,
car.
I'm sorry, I'm not totally up to date with this.
I'm only
But
messing. I'm only putting you on the
every
spot.
time you've come round, you have had an old BMW,
Yeah.
and I look at it and I just think,
Awesome.
like, do you know what I mean?
He's
Like,
done
what
well.
do you know? What you've got this like passion for absolutely knackered cars, sort of thing.
So do you, looking outside your
Well,
house.
I know, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. But yours are always just like, oh, it's a 2-litre diesel. It's a nice little family run around. There's a bit of trim missing, and there's a boot full of half shopping, but it's all right. You know, I'm just gonna tickle it into its grave, sort of thing. It's like Alex is like the last port of call.
Cool.
It's a weird.
Can we
weird
move on?
car.
It's like Alex's care home for cars.
Yeah. You should do like an advert for daytime TV. So if there's just some old lady like staring out the window. Is your car nearly gone? Do you not want to part with it? Send it to a good home.
Thank you,
Alex
Colin.
Kirsten.
Okay, we'll leave it there, Colin. Thank you very much. I sold my car. Let's move on. Jack, what have you been up to? It says here, bought a goat costume.
Yeah, did you put that in or did I put that in?
I
don't remember.
did.
Another one.
I don't remember doing that. No, I must have though. If it's written down in the script, that
Yeah.
can only be the answer. No, I did a couple of little things to the E39.
He's got an old Beamer as well. Colin.
Yeah.
I
we
mean,
do.
I secretly I admire you all. I like my old Beamers.
Yeah.
I've got an old E30.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yeah,
do
I
like
saw a
the
picture of
BMs.
that. Looks lovely.
The sound of the 6-cylinder, the older ones. The modern ones, you see, I think they've lost they're not quite as good.
Yeah.
The modern ones, the old ones, definitely. That's
Yeah.
where it's at.
Yeah.
So we probably got up to like E46s.
Oh yeah, that's modern.
That's where we stopped. Yeah, that's where we
Yeah,
stopped,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think the one after that was rubbish. This looked awful.
E90,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not a fan.
E46 for me is pinnacle.
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan?
I quite like the F80 personally.
Oh.
Like that.
Hello.
Their own shoulders.
What did you do to your E39, Jack?
A couple little bits to headlights, standard restoring, the old sandpaper and paste and,
Yeah.
and drill bit. And then I did the key. Remember the key fob wasn't working, I told you?
I do, yeah.
It was quite an easy fix, actually. Just programmed it in. I guess the previous owner hadn't realised that the battery in the key had just gone dead. And what's quite interesting is the battery in the key is charged up off the ignition. So when you're running it,
Classic BMW.
That is
Always
so
thinking.
good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's thinking that. That's German sphere, mate.
yeah,
They
that's
love
it.
all that.
Yeah.
There you go. You're sitting right next to one as well.
Are you German? I
No,
suppose
yeah.
Kirsten.
Yeah, there you go.
So sounds a bit German. Furs
Oh,
in,
farts.
in German is fart.
Fart. It
So,
is, yeah.
Is
which
it?
I get told every video. Your name's Mr. Fart. But then I've got quite a lot of German followers.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to the Germans.
yeah,
Yeah.
love your roads, your machining, everything's all good.
Do you want to send a little message to the German people, maybe in German?
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Das ist good.
Oh.
Ein Ei bitte.
Oh.
One egg, please.
Very good. Excellent. There you go, Germany. You're welcome. Ethan, what about you? It says here, apology to wife. Have you cheated?
Yeah, no, I've not cheated.
Oh, okay.
No. But I'd like to make an apology to my wife Gina because today,
Yeah.
it's our 3-year wedding anniversary.
Oh.
I've definitely not got anything.
And you're also not at home.
I'm gonna
You're
say
in a
you're
bungalow.
here.
Not at home, and I'm quite far from home, so I'm not going to be.
You
back
could have
for
brought her with
ages.
you. She could have sat in the corner.
That's true.
I mean, it's a rubbish day for the old girl.
you sit
but-
there and be quiet.
Yeah. Don't you say a word.
Here, play with this.
Yeah. But when I left, there was a card and stuff. I was like, oh,
What,
no.
for you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in a world of problems.
I haven't got anything.
Don't worry, there's lots of services on the way back.
Yeah.
You can buy some really shitty
That's true.
flowers.
Actually, Colin, if you've got anything I can give to her.
Can you
that'd
knock
be
something
great.
up?
Yeah.
I can give her a Colin Furze sticker sheet.
That would.
I
that
mean,
would
if you've got any cash on you, I could sell you some merch.
Good price. Good price for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So sorry, Gina.
You can laser cut a heart out of a bit of wood or something if you want.
Oh my god!
So that went to
That's a great idea.
Oh.
So,
Who said romance is dead?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're in the doghouse, but you're going to sort it out.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move on now to first confessions.
Oh.
You don't know anything about this, do you?
No, I don't.
No. Basically, Mr. Colin Furze, I just wanted to get you to tell us a bit of a story, a bit of a kind of what the moment that's maybe happened in your lifetime during work, as a plumber. I don't know, anything. Get inventive. Is there anything that sticks in your mind that you tell people in the pub? It's like, you'll never guess what happened to me. All right, I'm Colin Furze.
I mean, there's the odd
some
story. There's the odd story, I suppose. I mean, it's not car related,
Doesn't matter.
but it's.
What was his name?
I'm just trying to think. I used to do a lot of plumbing in this old folks home, which is behind the garage. And I remember Andy, my boss, saying, "Go and see this person." I think it was a bloke, and there was like, knock on the door, shout really hard. He's a bit deaf. The door won't be locked. It will be slightly ajar. And I used to hate this because I'm like, yeah, but if he's forgot I'm coming, but he's left the door ajar, and then I walk in, is he going to be like, ah? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, it's the plumber, and he won't hear any of this or anything. So anyway, get up to the door. There, what should you dry? Knock on. You're like, all right, mate, it's the plumber. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Walked in a bit more, like thinking, oh no, I'm going to give him a heart attack. And he was in the lounge with the Hoover, just pushing the Hoover along. The Hoover's not on. Okay. So he's so deaf, he don't know that the Hoover's not on. And I'm like, what the f*** is happening? I mean, I'm like, what do I do? So you're like trying to catch his attention without scaring the shit out of him. And then all of a sudden he caught him, he's like, oh, mate, I'm the plumber, sort of thing. Comes over, stands the Hoover up, pushes the button and switches it off. And I'm like, oh my, this is like priceless. And so he's coming over, shouting at me. I'm having to then shout at him, because he's deaf, and also Bison's going mad in the corner and sort of thing. And he's like telling me what's going on, and I'm like thinking, do I tell him? Like, your Hoover's on, mate, your Hoover's on. Sort of thing, like, just go along with it. Yeah, sort of thing. And he leads me to it, goes back on, switches it off again, doesn't it? Starts pushing it, and I just like standing there thinking, what on earth am I doing? So that's a cool story. I always like remember that. The deaf guy that, and I thought he's going to come in a minute, or he's going to ring his like daughter up and say, I don't think my Hoover's working very well. So I mean, doesn't seem to be picking anything up.
That is a great story. I love that. God, who'd have thought? Anyway, let's move on now to our first car story. Ethan, you're going to read this one out.
This is from William, and he says, "Hi, Alex, Jack, and Ethan. It's William from Ayrshire."
All right, William. Don't worry about me.
Oh no, actually, no. He says, "And Colin." Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, he doesn't. No, it's not there.
He somehow knew you were coming on. Love the podcast, and it's my Monday night treat when the missus is in bed. Okay.
More on that later.
Yeah.
So he listens to you while the missus is in bed.
Yeah.
Are they together?
Not anymore.
No, I mean, are they side by side? Is he listening to you while she's in? He's like, they're sharing the bed.
Oh yeah, maybe.
She might
or
be
is he
asleep
downstairs? Yeah.
Yeah, like getting his little sneaky place.
William, can you please email us and let us know?
We need to know.
we need to know
Can't
this.
The
Yeah,
logistics.
Can't
of
leave
this.
that wide.
For some reason, Colin gives a I don't. I really don't.
He's wrote it down. Do you know what I mean? It was unnecessary information
It was.
for us to know that he's, while his missus is in bed, he listens.
I think we've
wouldn't have put that.
we've got another kind of Gareth case here where he just wants bullet points, right? You don't want unnecessary information. You just
Well, I
want
do
bullet
quite
points.
like it.
Oh,
I mean, it's
okay.
good. It's an insight into William and his. And his
Where are you,
surroundings.
William?
But you can't put something like that without padding it out a bit.
Yeah. Would you also like a picture of William's wife? Just to paint the scene. We can get an email.
We don't know. Yeah, but we're open a can of worms there.
That's a slippery slope.
You got to be prepared to go all the way.
He says, just wanted to share my car story, and also after this week's estate debate, tell you how estates can be the wrong choice.
No, never the wrong choice.
No. I was 2 days away from my 16th birthday and had my first job working in retail. Also, I had started dating a hot young lady who was 20. Ooh.
Oh, hold on a second. Here,
He was
going on?
15,
Yeah,
nearly 16.
yeah.
He started
don't
dating
know
a
about
20-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, if you're his mate, you're like, fair play. If you're her mate, you're like, what you doing?
Yeah.
If you're the police, you're like,
He
hold out your hands. not like, yeah, well done. Like, I'm going to cuff you.
might be semi-French. He might have a lot of facial hair. He might look older.
Maybe.
Do French people have
I always
facial-
thought, when we went school trips, the French people were always hairier.
Okay.
So, sorry, French people. I just
If you're French, could you please email us and
do
let
a
us know?
survey. Go into the go out, just check facial hair and hair, and
So,
just
yeah,
see if there's generally more hair
What you're
about.
saying is that we need to go out to France, find all the 15-year-old boys we can, and do a survey of how
I'm
much
telling
hair
you,
they
mate, there'll be more hairy.
have. Okay, all right. We're just talking face, right?
Yeah, okay.
Can you also give a message to the French fans
Ah, yes, please.
in French?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Colin.
Nice. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, she was 20.
Yeah.
Anyway, she stayed 15 miles from me, and as I didn't drive, I got the bus to hers one Friday night. Bear with me. I missed the last bus as I had too much to drink, but my girlfriend said that the guy over there, pointing to a young bloke in a Ford Granada estate, was going past my town on his way to a famous club. I reluctantly agreed to take the lift, but after 5 minutes of sitting in the back of the car, the driver, who I didn't know, said, there's the police. To which he also said the motor was stolen, which I 100% didn't know about. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, after the car chase scene out of Bullet was reenacted, we hit a dead end. He jumped out of the car, and as I got out, my ankle went under the back wheel. Ouch. He escaped. I didn't know his name. The police caught me. The police held me over the weekend and then charged me on my 16th birthday on the Monday. I lost my job due to the record. The 20-year-old, who shall remain nameless, dumped me, and I got a £250 fine and a year's driving ban, even though I was only 16. Moral of the story, if you get in a stolen car, make sure it's not an estate. Keep up the good work, guys. Okay, yeah.
He's had a shocker, though.
Yeah.
Well, when Jeremy Kyle's not on the TV anymore, you've got Car Throttle
We're here.
Podcast.
We're here.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, mate, you've had an absolute shocker, but estates are still cool.
I agree. I feel like there's more to this story as well.
I like the fact that he said that there was a young chap over the road with a car he's got a car,
Yeah.
so he's obviously older than him.
Yeah.
So
It all
but he's
sounds
classed as a
really
young
dodgy.
chap.
And also he
Young
said
chap.
he missed the bus because he had too much to drink.
He's had a bad life,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
15, 20-year-old
He's had-
misses and he's
Oh.
too pissed.
I think,
When you're too drunk to get the bus, you're like,
to be fair, he's done pretty well, man. He's played a blinder there, hasn't he?
yeah.
He's got an older woman and he's gone out 15 miles away, got levered, and then come home in a stolen car. It's a hell of a story for the Christmas party, that one.
Yeah.
Also, a 1-year ban when you're 16, so
Well, you can't drive
that's,
for a year anyway.
that's not too
Does it
terrible, is it?
activate when you become 17?
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Activate.
Activate license.
Got a ban in the bank ready.
I'm pre-banned.
That'd be miserable, wouldn't it?
Oh, excellent. Well, that's a cracky story to kick off the Car Throttle podcast. The
podcast.
Podcast. Anyway, we're going to move on now to reply from the audience. Jack, you're going to read this one out. It's about something that we discussed last week.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Phil here. A person, not a Mazda, in brackets.
Yeah, that's not Frank. It's Phil.
Sorry.
That's from next
Right.
I know you name your cars and stuff.
Do you not?
What?
No.
The truck's the truck. Yeah, my first car was called Mavis,
Okay.
a 1.2 Nova,
nice.
and the registration plate was MAV. And then after that, I had my 316 E30. That was Axle.
Is that the one in the picture?
No, that's Farty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because
Oh, but after your name, Foots.
no,
Nine.
yeah. So the 316, the last three letters were ACL, so that got called Axel, and
Okay.
then Farty was RTW,
Yeah.
so that got called Farty, and then the one I've got at the moment is Helen, because it's a H reg and it's like something LN or something at the end. I can't quite remember it now.
So
H630 something LN.
I think that's a nice way to name cars, as
So-
opposed to just first guys' names.
80s pop stars. 80s
Just
pop
random,
stars.
whatever. Yeah, it's 80s pop stars, it is, isn't it?
But I don't think I've named any because the truck, the Hilux just got called the truck. So, and then after that, I don't know, none of them just seem to be, I mean, the DeLorean's just a DMC. So,
All right.
and then of others, like vans and stuff I've never named because it's just a van.
It's just weird,
It's got
right?
no character.
Van.
All right.
Vanny.
So,
Vanny McVanface.
so.
Anyway, let's crack
Sorry,
on
we
with the story.
digress.
I got a scooter called Mo.
Oh.
The scooter that I read The Wall of Death on,
Oh,
that's
yeah?
Called Mo.
Mo.
Okay.
Again, because the number plate is MOH.
Oh, I thought you were saying
You see a theme in this, can't
Shouldn't
you?
it be Mo?
Mo.
More.
No, it's not. It's just not a name, is it?
I think you're going to
it
say
could be
first
somewhere.
name Mo, second name Ped.
Oh.
Well, do you know what I mean? That's the thinking behind it. Yeah. Oh,
What about the mobility scooters?
the mobility scooters? No, there's just like the fast one, and then the one that's not so fast, the 60-mile-an-hour one. Yeah, and then the fast one. So anyway, I'll shut up. Get on with the question. Go on.
Enjoyed your latest podcast and particularly the arm dangling discussion. Here is a cautionary tale. Years ago, my brother's friend was driving and holding his roof in place with his arm out of the window. Then he had an accident and somehow flipped his car onto the driver's side. The car slithered along the road, trapping his arm between the car and the road. Fortunately, when the car came to rest, his arm was still attached, but was a bit worse for wear. The surgeon saved his arm and hand with several operations, skin grafts, and many months of
Recuperation.
That was a big word for me.
I know, yeah.
Did you put that in there to get me?
No, it's actually in the email.
Okay, nice play. The moral of this tale: do not arm dangle.
Yeah. So we had a discussion last week about, people who put their arm out like that or hang it down the side when they're driving. I don't like it. Because when you drive past someone and their arms like flapping about, you drive past them and you're like,
like a dead, like when you get a dead arm. Like that flap.
Yeah. Except you have a use for that. But like, what's your stance? Do you drive past people with their big fat hammy hands and you're like, ugh? Do you dangle?
We should ask everyone that.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the vehicle.
Oh.
The van is really irritating because Volkswagen vans without the bulkhead, if you have the driver's side window open, you get that in your ear. It's horrible. So I only have to have the passenger one open, so I can't dangle because the door it's shut. I don't know. I might be a bit of a. No, I tend to rest that one on the centre console, and then that one sort of thing on like the handle. But you can't do that on all cars that don't have handle. No, I'm not a dangler.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
So.
Does it irritate you though when you see people's like fat arms? I keep on.
If the driver has got his hand dangling, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you're quite happy to see a dog or a kid in the passenger seat. Like, dog? Yeah, dog. Got his back leg. Oh, mate, it's funny around here. Something like that. But no, I don't think I'm a dangler. I suppose you could hold on to the roof rack if you've got a roof rack.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a power move.
I've always wanted when I was in the van in my plumbing days, it never had any aircon. I was going to rig up a bit of flexible waste pipe that would clamp onto the wing mirror, and then you could shove it down like the sleeve. So like as fast as you went, it just blew the air into you, puffed you up and cooled you down.
That could be the next video.
Yeah.
So
you'd have a stench pipe going down to your penis.
Essentially,
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
There's a video in that. Yeah. Well, there are many videos actually.
There are.
Yeah. You can look those up on Google. Right, let's now move it on. I asked you guys to send me your messages to Colin. So here they are. Question 1 from Callum. Oh, this is funny, isn't it? Question 1 from Callum. Can you build a machine to make Alex taller?
I can build a machine. Do you want to live after it? Some weird stretchy doodly.
Yeah.
Do you want to be taller though? Have you got short man syndrome? Are you secretly mega angry?
Can we answer that?
Is he one of these people that like if you say something to him, you're a bit snappy? You're quite snappy.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm snappy.
you're snappy.
I feel like you've learned to deal with it.
He's learned,
My height.
you've learned to accept.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'7" in the morning, like first thing in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
5'5" at night.
No, about 5'6" at the end of the day. Yeah.
Bloody gravity.
I know. Up every day. But yeah, I just kind of figure if I can't be tall, I'll be wide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have put a bit on it since you were last here.
Bit of timber.
Proper chode.
So the answer to that is wow.
I'm not happy till I can lift my Mazda.
So the answer to that, Colin, is no, you can't make one because Alex is perfect as he is, right?
You can whatever, mate.
Right, okay. Jaldred97 says, how did the Colin Furze channel start and what did he do before YouTube?
Well, before YouTube, I was a plumber. Technically, I still am a plumber because it's the only thing I'm actually qualified in.
Ah.
So if YouTube was to switch off, then
YouTube, are you listening?
Yeah, if you just somebody comes in and just thinks, none of this no more, rubbish, too much hassle. Just stick to searches. I used to be a plumber, and then it was kind of weird, really, because there's lots of things happened all at once, which set me off on the direction I did. Is the person I was with at the time finished with me, a bit more spare time. I'd finished riding BMXs. Because I was getting a bit too old for it, and I kind of missed the competition element. Like it's always good, when you got like a sport, you've always got something to make yourself better. So I kind of thought I need something to fill that time. So that's when I bought the Hilux and decided to make the world's biggest bonfire. So because I'd go out collecting pallets and stuff all the time, and then sort of all these things like kind of ended, and I was making little videos because I used to make BMX videos, so I had the editing and filming skills and stuff from there. And then somebody said about YouTube, so I started uploading some of the things that I'd filmed, while we were BMXing, the bonfire thing. And then after the bonfire, we had a load of wood left over. I know that sounds weird, after a bonfire, because where I was going to build it in the field, like 3 weeks before we built it, like the farmer had chopped the hedges and found like there was a high pressure gas main running literally slap under where I was. Jeez. Now, I said I think it'll be all right, but he didn't want to risk that on his farm insurance.
Weird, that, isn't it?
So I had to move it down to the other end of the field, and I'd collected like 24,000 pallets, so I couldn't move them all.
How do you even, what, 24,000?
Yeah, in a Hilux. Just driving, there's like all the industrial units and stuff around here. I just used to go around like 3 or 4 times a week, just like loading the Hilux up and taking them up to this field. Christ. So I had a load left over, and it was like, well, there's no point just burning them. That seems a bit pointless now after doing this massive fire. So then that's when we made the Wall of Death. Yeah. Because I've uploaded a few videos already and kind of got the YouTube bug. So that was like the first project tailored for YouTube, where I filmed the building, testing and everything, and then put it out there, and then it kind of just evolved then into me making stuff, because like at that time I was 26, 27, still lived at home with my parents. My dad was just alive at the time, and he had quite a cool shed. I wasn't allowed in it, and then he passed away, and then I got in the shed and then started to buy more tools, and then it just kind of funneled off into what it is. But there weren't any money in it then. You couldn't do it as a job. There was no AdSense or anything like that. So I just used to do things in my spare time. Got slightly better at playing the media. So I had like this person that was like a freelance journalist, and they'd come and take pictures and then send it out to the papers. And that's where like the fastest scooter and stuff did really well in the papers. And then it kind of just barrel rolled, got bigger and bigger. And then this Sky show, Gadget Geeks, contacted me and said, "Oh, do you want to come and be a presenter?" And that was back like in 2010, which was after like the 2009 recession. So plumbing was getting a bit slack. So my boss was like, "Yeah, go off and do that then." And then I just never went back, basically. Yeah. So, and then that was it. And here we are.
And so you're completely self-taught with all the stuff you make?
Oh yeah, no idea what I'm doing. That is honestly the truth. Like, I bought a lathe and just started using it. You'll wreck tools and bits and stuff, and you'll get through stuff. And it's, like somebody might come around. Like I've got a few mates that are kind of semi-engineers sort of thing and whatnot. But mainly you'll see other things on other YouTube videos. Yeah, I was going to ask, yeah. It's like, how, you're like, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, like really simple things like vernier calipers, like the manual ones, not the digital ones. Like I didn't realise that all the little bits after it, that's like the point scale. Like if it's not, I'll look at it and go, that's better in the middle, isn't it? That 2.5 mil. I didn't realise all those other bits, you're supposed to line them up and that's it. And I found that out from another YouTube video. So it is mostly just trial and error. But I don't know, that's kind of the fun of it, isn't it? Yeah. So. And do you find now that you can make pretty much anything, you don't ever buy anything anymore? Because you're like, I can make something that's even better. Sort of. I mean, it depends how long it's going to take to make, to what it's going to cost. It depends on what, if there's a video in it, you may as well make it and then everyone can see. I made a hydraulic press sort of thing, which is all like plugs into the bench. That's pretty cool. If you was to buy one of them, it would probably be the size of the shed or whatever. So things like that are a little cool. But then you're like an English wheel. I can't be bothered to make an English wheel, because you may as well just buy one and then at least it's all good sort of thing. So yeah, sometimes. Jobs are good. Rodriguez asks, what would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time? Ooh, how young are we going? Oh, how old are you, Colin? I'm 40. I'm actually 41 in about 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, okay. So I've got the old midlife crisis coming up. How are you going to celebrate your midlife crisis? I'll just buy an MX-5. I'm going to buy a soft top MX-5. I had mine young. Dye me hair. Yeah. So,
Maybe go back to like 17.
17, I would tell myself, I used to ride BMXs, and I went to King of Concrete in 98, and my mates entered me into the mini ramp competition without me knowing. So from this, going from just stood in the crowd to hearing my name get shouted and shoved on the ramp, no warm up whatsoever, I then thought it was a good idea to try and like jump on the back rail behind the thingy, and then I come in and I basically ripped all my ACL, PCL ligaments. And that's affected me ever since.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, because I get like my knee sometimes. So I'd probably tell myself, just calm down. It's all right, enter the competition, but just calm down. Yeah. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, I used to mess around at school and bits and bobs, but I'm quite happy with.
You've done all right.
I've done all right, sort of thing. I've always applied myself to the things I wanted to. So it is what it is, really.
Are there any projects where you've sort of stood back and sort of checked yourself and be like, actually, don't think I should do that one?
I've done ones that I've done once, and won't when we was moving the para motor engine from behind it. That was the one I put on the 360 swing, and I did that twice, enough to get the video, and then I was like, this is ridiculous. This is a stupid idea, because even at tick over, it got faster. And then I remember I like rev the nuts off it, and it sent me over, and I was like, oh cool. But then it was like another again. I was like, this is going faster. And I'm not strapped onto it. I'm only holding onto it. And then like there was a kill switch, but I remember the physical, like mental strength to like tell my thumb to lift off and push this button while it's getting quicker. And then it killed it, and it just kept going. And I just remember thinking, whoa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was, well, I don't know if it just got faster and faster, whether I'd just been hanging on. It'd be like one of them centrifuges they put like space people in, only going up and over. Yeah. Whether there would have come a point where I was like, I can't hold on anymore, and like trying to work out when to let go. So I hit the floor and not go over the house. So that was pretty bad. But other than that, I mean, I've got burnt. I blew myself up in the shed because there was a gas leak. But, that was just... I went in for my tea and come out and forgot where I was in the process, basically. So, just, easy mistake.
Yeah. Speaking of injuring yourself, I did actually have a question. What is the closest you've come to really hurting yourself? I know your burns, like...
Yeah, the burns thing was pretty bad, because I was in the shed on my own. And I had all the doors shut because I was basically trying to start this rubbish jet engine, which I'd made with no welder. So it was basically a turbo off a transit van, which was chained to a toilet roll tube, which had a bog brush tube inside it. Everything, and it was like siliconed and like kind of taped up, because I wanted to prove to people that you could make a jet engine with no welder. Yeah. And then I was trying to spool it up in the shed, and the neighbours were having like a tea party in the garden. And I thought, I better shut the doors. When these things spool up, they're pretty noisy. Do you know what I mean? I think they sound amazing, but they're not so appreciative of the sound of a homemade turbine. So I had all the doors shut, and then of course I'd gone in, had something to eat, come back out, and basically there was gas leaking all over the bench, and then with the thing trying to spark it into action, something shot out the back of it, and literally the whole bench went up in flames. I mean,
and there's footage of that.
There is. The video is online. It's age restricted because it's quite graphic.
Yeah.
And then basically, but it blew the shed doors open, and I remember thinking afterwards they were shut, like proper shut, and it actually blew both of them open.
Christ.
But the horriblest thing, like the things that I take from it, is I remember like running outside quick, and I just remember lifting my arm up and I could move the skin, the top layer of skin.
Oh, that's
and I just thought, this is going to sting in a bit. This is going to be bad. So I ran upstairs, took all my clothes off quick, got in the shower, and I was just like sitting in like cold shower with like my arms. So I was on my own. I was like, right, don't ring my mum. She'll just panic like hell, sort of thing. So I was like, right, sod it. So I kind of Googled, like, what do you do if you really burn yourself, sort of thing. And then it said, right, wrap cling film around your hands so to keep the air off it. So then I ran downstairs, like, naked. I both up naked, trying to wrap my arm. If you try and wrap yourself in cling film when you're wet, you're getting in a right mess. But it did actually help. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's cooled it down a little bit. But then it would only stop it for like a couple of minutes, and it would really start to the heat and the pain would start to come back. So then I'd put the plug in the bath while I was in the shower. Don't know why, thinking ahead. So save water. So then I went upstairs and I was like over the edge of the bath with my arms in the bath thinking, right, what do I do now? What do I do now? And I thought, I'll bugger it. I'll just get in the van and drive to A&E as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So I'll just bomb downtown. Oh, and that is probably the only time I've had my arms. Sort of things. So I had to keep swapping arms, putting different arms out the window. And then I just ran in there and I was like, look, I need to send someone quick. I burnt my arms. And then, to be fair, they were really good. They rushed me in. And then they basically put these pads on it, which like, they didn't stick to you, but they did. It was like a foam neoprene pad.
Yeah.
And then they would give me some painkillers. And then that was basically the last time it ever hurt. I was just walking around with my arms in the air before the painkillers kicked in. And then after that, I put a timer on my phone for every like 4 hours to take some more painkillers. And then I just started to wean them off. So the next time it'd be 4.5, then it'd be 5.
Yeah.
But also, it was the first time I ever really understood what it was like to be a drug addict. Because they gave me cocodamol or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, that's good, that
It's
stuff.
proper.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I stuck, because they'd only give me one packet, and I thought, right, they're the strong ones. I'll just try and do ibuprofen next, sort of thing. So they, and then if it does get painful, I can take it there. And I remember, I just felt so crap after it. It's like the world was grey.
Yeah.
I had
and
that
everything
exact
was
feeling,
worse.
like cold turkey type thing, yeah.
And then my mum said, it's probably the codeine tablets. And I took one and literally 3 minutes, everything was, and I was like, whoa.
Wow.
That's what it's like to be like some smackhead. Sort of thing. And then I never touched them after that.
Oh, really?
Never touched them. I wouldn't take them. And then obviously I had to go through it a little bit again. But because I knew what it was, it didn't bother me. I'm like, the world's rubbish, but it's only them tablets. Sort of thing. Because I'm quite, I'm not a big drinker. I've never really drank that much. I've never smoked any cannabis. I've never took any drugs or anything like that. I'm fussy with my food. I don't like even having peas mixed in with mashed potato.
Really?
So if somebody come up to me in like a club and go, "Do you want to take this?" I'm like, "What's it taste like?" Going, what is it? What's it got in it? You know what I mean? It's like I just wouldn't touch it. So it's kept me out of a lot of mischief. So I got burned. I've got cuts, grazes, and things like that. I've been lucky. I've had like speed wobbles on the mobility scooter because I got 82 out of that on this TV show. And I was literally bombing. It was at Brunting, thought we were filming it. And it got like a bit of a wobble and it shot to the side. And I just kind of let it go where it didn't and slow down. And then when we got to the end, like literally one of the tyres had let go. But they were like, it's stupid really because they were just normal mobility scooter tyres and they're rated to like 8 miles.
Yeah. But I would have thought you would have planned ahead a little bit.
But they say 8 miles an hour, but there's always a bit of leeway.
Yeah, 10 times leeway.
And you say you've never smoked cannabis.
Excellent. Right. Dom asks, with all the things you build, and of course the bunker that we're in now, what's the relationship like with your neighbours?
Well, technically, what have I got? Six neighbours. So I'd say 5/6 of them are very good.
Good hit rate.
So it's a pretty good hit.
What about
rate,
that 1/6?
So they're not so keen.
They're over there. Aren't they?
No, you're pointing in the wrong direction. Actually,
I'll-
it's very disorientating when you're down here. Like, where's the house?
That way.
Where's my house?
Right.
That way.
Oh no.
That way.
Yeah.
There.
Ethan's got it.
Wait, what?
No, the house
That
is
way.
over there.
Shut up.
So yeah.
Shut up.
Oh no, it
Listen.
is that, yeah.
No, I refuse to believe it. Is it?
Yeah, because you come down, you go into the shed, down then along. So,
This is why I get lost all the time.
Yeah. Let's not leave you down here.
That's
but
not.
no, they're not so keen anymore.
Ah.
So, but I think secretly they just want to come and play.
They just want to use this as their own sex dungeon.
Yeah, and that triple bath. That's like
Oh, yeah.
So
that's right for it.
they don't like the
You can put a
triple
whole
bath.
bunch of keys in the top.
The triple bath of all things seems to be the thing
like
that's
that?
broke the camel's back.
Really?
Yeah,
what's their
proper
objection
lost
with
their
that?
rag over the triple bath.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like tall things because
Ah.
they don't like me being able to see in their garden.
So that swing, they liked that?
No, I didn't like the swing.
they didn't like that
The
either,
swing.
no.
But it's kind of weird because every time they moaned about something, I was kind of like, I didn't do it again, or I would do something slightly different.
Yeah.
Like, didn't like the swing because it was tall,
Yeah.
and it didn't like, and also you could kind of see in their back garden from the video. So
Yeah.
from there on, I've never filmed facing that way.
Yeah.
The ATAT, when I made the
Yeah,
ATAT,
yeah.
they didn't like that because it was tall, sort of thing.
There's a theme here, isn't there?
Yeah, but then, and it was also quite a big project, and I said, all right, and I won't do like massive builds like that here and again, and I didn't. So the TIE Fighter was made up at Tom's farm.
Yeah.
The tall thing is a load of bollocks, really. And then the Hulkbuster, which was kind of like, that was all made in the shed till like the last week, and then it did get a bit noisy. So I did apologise for that sort of thing. And that's generally, that doesn't really happen. But I'll put that roof up on the thingy and then try to put a bit of sound insulation and fence. That doesn't mean sound insulation doesn't really do a lot, but it was a gesture sort of thing. It was a gesture. And then yes, I don't, every now and again, if I'm in the shed and grinding the shed doors are shut, it's not really something. The council have been out, they don't care. Yeah. They're happy with it all. The council even come out the other week to see the triple bath.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like, what? Sort of thing. They've been on the phone for like an hour moaning about this. And he's come out and looked at it and just I'll go back to the office and just put three baths and a bit of copper pipe down. So he thought it was a bit stupid.
You think they'd like to see someone bathing in their garden?
Well, it's the thing you say, because they moaned at me. Don't know how tall stuff you can see into our garden. They've got a balcony on the back of their house. They can look into my garden 24/7. So, never mind.
All right, so 5-6, good hit rate.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
It's good.
All right. Mike asks, did you ever dream that your channel would get to the size that it is now?
Not really. I mean, the thing is, it's a moving goalpost, isn't it? Because when I first started back in the day, when the YouTube, I used to like the homepage when it first started because we all saw the same video, and there's videos that I've watched that I'd have never have bothered searching for, and I used to think that was quite good. And my Wall of Death video got put on the homepage, and that was the first viral video. And see all these subs come in, and I think I went from about 300 subs to about 3,000 sort of thing. But then the most subscribed person in the whole UK, and he had like 23,000 or something.
Yeah.
So back then, like 23,000 was like mega.
Yeah.
But then of course, as the years clocked on, it's always been like you got PewDiePie on 100 million or whatever, which is just not. Like once I passed 10 million and got the diamond play button, everyone's like, oh, you got to get to 50 or 100. I'm like, I just don't want to think about it. It's a lot of pressure. We all put pressure on ourselves, don't we, on these, these channels that we want them to grow. We want to get to certain points, but then you get there and it's like, I'm there now.
Bit of an anticlimax,
and then you start looking at the next one ahead, but it can tire you out sometimes. And I just think, maybe we shouldn't really be so bothered about the number on the screen, but it is difficult because it's
just constantly competing with yourself.
You are, yeah, and that's what leads to people getting burnt out and all sorts of other problems. So it's kind of, you just have to tell yourself, just make what you make. Yeah, enjoy doing it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Very good advice.
Hence why my upload schedule can be slightly erratic sometimes.
It can be, yeah.
But anyway.
Theo Likes Boats asks, what are the plans for the legendary Hilux?
The Hilux, well, I was talking to Alex earlier before we started recording. I do want to restore it. Not to the point where it looks like it's just come out the showroom, because there's no point, because then it could get scratched and dented again. Yeah. But no, I want to kind of go through it, start the front, take the bull bars off, like properly wax, coat, prime, everything.
We can give you a hand with that.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I'd get Alex involved if I were you.
Well, you like rust, don't you? I'll sweep up all the stuff that falls off it and put it in a box for you.
Oh, very good, thank you. I will cherish that.
But yeah, I do want to properly put it back on the road and get it up and running, because it's a vehicle. I remember there was probably about 6 years ago, I hadn't driven it for like 3 or 4 years, and I got in it and started it, and there was the radio, the CD had never been changed the whole time I was building the bonfire. And there was this song called Rocky Top, which is like a country song.
Can you give us a quick rendition?
It's like ding 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 ding. Which dad I was on old Rocky Top. What? There's God knows how many versions. I've no idea what version I had, sort of thing. And it come on, and I nearly cried because I was like, God, the memories. You know what I mean? Of driving up there and collecting all the pallets, and I'd not driven it for so long, and like everyone, when I drive around Stamford, everyone beeps and waves because that's Colin's, that's in his Hilux. Whereas when you're in the other cars, you just blend into the world, sort of thing.
Is that the one car you'll never sell?
Yeah, that and the DeLorean.
Nice.
I don't think I'd ever sell the DeLorean, so because that's pretty cool. But yeah, the Hilux is like, that's that's good. Rick's always said when he dies, he wants me to make him a coffin out of pallets and take him to the crematorium with him in the back of the Hilux. Really? And I'm to go over the speed bumps really quick. So he's coughing, like, bouncing like hell in the background. So I keep telling you need to write this down and tell the rest of your family, because when I suggest this, 2 days after you pegged it, they're all going to look at me as if I'm some, you can't do that, you horrible man.
And you'll obviously have to video it and get it on YouTube.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, you've got to make some money.
I'll send him out in style. Hopefully that's not going to happen in the near future.
And finally, Chris asks, what's the plan with your DeLorean?
Well, it it's too good a condition to mess around with. You've seen, I've put it on the drive for you boys so you could see it, sort of thing. I thought, car channels coming round, gotta put on a bit of a display.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So I kind of want to try and find one which is a bit of a dog that's absolutely wrecked and do something with it.
Oh, that's not the one.
Oh, it's got a cheek, the old boy. If you weren't so wide. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, really, because it's like, I've got it because I love the films, the story on behind the cars and everything. And it is just such a cool car. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not, it is a weird car. There's so many weird things about it and it's got no power. Couldn't pull the blooming skin off a custard. So, but it is so cool. And I'm looking at it like, I don't know. I don't want to do nothing, seems wrong, but then equally to do anything to it seems like a bit of a, sacrilege because it is such good condition. So I need to find one which is a complete dog, which is not like 20 odd 30 grand or whatever that I can do stuff and butcher with. And
I'll find you a rusted one. I know you think that's impossible. I'll find it.
He'll sniff it out.
No, if you do find one, literally, and if there's anyone out there that knows where there's an old DeLorean, well, no, you ain't gonna get a new one here. Like someone who's got one, as long as it's got the complete body panels, well, within reason, sort of thing. So it doesn't have to have an engine. Even the chassis and driveline cannot be there. I just need the top bit, and then everything underneath is because I know what I want to do. I'm not telling you that.
Which is what?
So it's
Going Back to the Future
sort of thing, maybe. So, but no, I think making a Back to the Future vehicle's it's been done before. There's people that have done it and they've made brilliant jobs at it. Yeah. And if you're going to do that, you have to make it exactly as they did in the film, or else you get some nerd come up to you. I can't help noticing that the flux capacitor is shrugged in the wrong way. You're not going anywhere. Or anything like that. So you've got to do it absolutely perfect. That was always the worry when I did the Star Wars builds, because I'm like, Star Wars fans know Star Wars, and they probably know it way better than I do. So I need to make sure they're spot on.
Oh, are you going to make a monster truck?
Hey, what, out of the DeLorean?
Yeah, not out of that one.
I wouldn't say it's a monster truck. I've got, because somebody has done a monster truck one. Yeah. There is one, and it does look quite cool, but I don't think proportionally it looks as good as it could do.
Which means that you're going to do it.
But better.
Ooh. Have I uncovered your secret?
Well, partially. Oh, but slightly. Well, yeah, you say that.
Exclusive here.
But I've got. It's not just going to be like a monster truck. It's going to be slightly. No, I'm not telling you anymore. I haven't even got the car yet. It's just what I've had for years.
Don't worry, we'll try and make that happen. I saw something on your YouTube channel. You posted in the community. What do you want to see next?
Yes.
And there was a massive landslide win for you doing something with a car.
Yeah, crazy vehicle. Yeah. Everyone wanted a crazy vehicle. It was quite weird, actually. I'd never done a poll before. I literally am the worst social media. Do you know what I mean? I should do. There's so much stuff. I don't post much stuff on social media because I just think it's like, you've got to have a life as well, ain't you? Look, cheese. So, whatever. But so I did this poll. It was crazy vehicle, game film gadget, metal fabrication exercise, basically doing something with the English shaping thing. Because the land speeder, I really enjoyed doing the land speeder, but didn't have time to film much of it because it was bloody Disney take ages to make their mind up. And by the time they told us what they actually wanted, it was like, sort of thing. So it never really got filmed how I wanted it to. So I thought, does anyone want to see that? Clearly not. It was like 5%. And then there was fireworks. Nobody did that, bothered about fireworks. And then a cheap build, like building things with basic tools. Because they normally do quite well, those videos do. But no, everyone wanted a crazy vehicle. Yeah. So then after that, I did another poll because I was getting into my polls. Yes, Mr. Democracy. Yeah, this is good. And then it was something fast, something hydraulics driven or something accessory on it. Some unique, weird Furze thing, which to be fair, I shouldn't have put that in there because I was always going to win. You weird, unique Furze thing. And it's something based on a normal car, and there was another one, can't remember what it was. Oh, all-terrain. That was it. So I've kind of got this idea. I've got I bought a Honda CR 250 motocross bike, so two-stroke. Not done anything with two-stroke, I don't think, properly since the fast mobility scooter. So I've got that. I've got an idea of how to make something which is kind of sort of, it will look like something else, but how it rides and how you sit on it and everything, I think is going to be quite weird. It might be rubbish. Yeah. but in my mind, I can't quite work out how my feet are going to control and do what they need to do. But it should allow you to properly lean into corners and stuff.
That sounds like a motorbike, Colin.
So it's like a motorbike, but it's not going to be a motorbike.
Two balls for wheels.
So what? Just chuck that in there.
Ethan has entered the chat.
I'm trying to up it.
Yeah,
If that happens, can I have a go at some point?
yeah. Have you got any like deals for like racetracks or anything? Because I mean, I've got like an old there's like disused airfields and stuff, or private airfields that I can use, but none of them are particularly smooth. And of course, they
Well,
don't
we
have any
do use
corners on them.
Cobra Sprint Circuit.
Is that that little,
Yeah.
little tiny
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon we want something a bit bigger than that though, because I think it's going to be fast.
M40?
The
Cadwell,
M40.
Yeah.
So
I like that. That's good.
Cadwell's not far from here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Cadwell.
yeah, if
That's
you've got
a bit
any,
smelly,
if you've got any contacts, that we can, because sometimes if you rent track days, they charge you a bloody fortune.
They do.
Basically, we just don't want to pay the money.
Exactly, yeah. Anyway, we're now going to move it on to things that grind your gears. And it says, hi, Ethan and crew.
Hello.
Shut up. Loving the podcast, and your chats have made me think of some opinions of my own. I want to tell you about two features of my current car, which I love, a Toyota GT86. There are two features, however, that drive me up the wall. Firstly, it's keyless ignition. Now, no one had a problem with turning a key, and now I never know where my keys are. They used to hang out of the dashboard next to the steering wheel, but now they might be in a pocket, in the center console, or a bag. Can we please stop this nonsense now? But the worst thing in this, or any modern car, is the touchscreen radio. In a moving car, this just doesn't work, particularly in the UK, where you end up using your left hand. Designers say it tidies up the interior with fewer buttons, but they actually feature hundreds of digital buttons, different shapes, colours and sizes, and the slightest bump, which happens often in a GT86, means you press the wrong thing. What's more, using these touchscreens is no less dangerous than trying to use a phone whilst driving. Anyway, thanks for letting me get this off my chest. Love the videos, and the podcast is brilliant. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, this guy needs to be transport secretary.
He does. Yeah.
I'm with him on both of them.
Yeah,
I
same
know.
I mean, not so much losing the keys. I normally do, but I don't. I always think, you put it in your pocket. I don't normally put it on the dash and in a bag. So they put it in sorry, mate. But the only thing that annoys me with car keys in general is you have a separate button for locking and unlocking.
Yeah.
But you only ever, it's only one, you're only doing one thing. You're either locking it or you're unlocking it.
Yeah.
You're never going to lock it or unlock it at the same time. So why do you need two separate buttons?
That's true.
Because you
That is
reach
very
in your
true.
pocket, and then especially with my van key, like I don't know what the top or the bottom is very easy by just reaching in. So I constantly have to reach, unlock that one. Whereas if it was just one button, you just squeeze it.
Yeah.
So
There you go. He's going
There's
to
that.
revolutionise the car.
Yeah.
industry.
Listen up.
and then when you sit down, you'll be locking your car all the time.
I don't think you'll be doing that in here.
No.
Yeah, we're a few metres on the ground. Also, we have a Honda Ian at the moment, and that's got keyless entry. Thing that really annoys me about that is you have the key in your pocket, because I've got my house key on it. You walk past the car, unlocks itself. Did I ask you to do that? And then I have to take my key out and then lock it, don't I?
Just to double check.
Yeah. No, I'll have to lock it because it unlocks as I walk past it. I'm like, I didn't want to go inside you. I wanted to go inside my shitbox BMW. Thank you very much.
How far away from it do you have to be before it thinks, he's not coming in?
I think
lock
there's
it.
maybe like a 3 metre radius.
Because if you, say if you lived in a terrace and
Yeah.
your car was parked on the street
Yeah.
and you were sat in the window watching telly,
Yeah.
your car's it was your car constantly in lock.
Yeah, it might.
because
If
You're
you
like
went up to
within
the
its
window.
range.
Yeah, but why would you have the keys in your pocket if you're inside your house?
Because we're blokes, we don't have bags. I've got my van keys and my house keys in my pocket.
Why? You're at home.
Yeah, I know, but if I want to go out, they're in my pocket. It's got the shed on it and the bunker on it. They're in my pocket.
I think you're in a minority here. Does anyone else sit at home with their keys in their pocket?
No, mine are over there.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I try to
somebody's
keep-
left them on here, but it's just they're always there.
Yeah, but then they're in your pocket, and it's just irritating because it's just always rubbing against your skin.
I'm the opposite. I try to keep my keys out of my pocket as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'll wear them on my belt. I'll do anything so they're not in my pocket. I just don't like the feeling.
Also, while we're on the subject of like wearing stuff, it's just reminded me. Colin very nicely made us a cup of Yorkshire tea this morning.
Yeah.
The way you made it though, not cool. All right, kettle on, fine. Water in there, obviously.
So glad you cleared that first.
Good start.
That's the bit we've got an issue with.
Cups out, we're good. All right, we've got nice first cups as well. Shout out to those. And then, all right, milk comes out. So okay, we'll be using that.
I actually saw
about a
you
minute.
flinch
Yeah.
when I got the milk out.
So-
You were like nearly went to stop me as if like, whoa, not yet, mate, not yet.
Picture the scene. Kettle's still boiling. It's like, all right, Colin, we've still got 30 seconds before the milk needs to go on. But no.
Preparation, I call
Lid
it.
comes off. I'm like, oh, he's really preparing. He just wants this day to go quickly so we can get out.
Did you see how I took the lid off the milk though? You hold the carton with your 4 fingers and then you get your thumb, you slide the lid off.
Didn't see that. I was too
I've
distracted.
nearly got it to the point where I can flick it off and it lands on the worktop.
Very good.
I'm like,
I was just too
oh,
distracted
Colin.
because I was.
just
Stop
man.
it.
I haven't got to the kicker. Milk goes in. Mm-hmm. Does the tea bag go in before the milk?
No, milk goes. No, the milk. Put the milk in, and then I pour the milk. Sort of like drop the tea bag in as the water's going in, so it kind of gets a bit of the fresh water going through it, sort of thing. Because I know there's the whole heat thing that I accept is that the tea does come out more in hotter conditions. So so I try and give it as much chance as possible. But after I'd made the cup of tea, I handed it over to you, and I said, Alex, just take a while to look at your tea and admire the fact that there's no lime scale and no dirt on the top of it. It's a nice smooth cup of tea. It's a sort of like a paint swab, it's a cup of tea. It's really, it's pure. And was it strong enough?
It's all right.
I got it pretty dark.
It was all right.
Do you know what I mean? I was like thinking I wouldn't drink that because I drink like weak tea, you see. So the whole milk in first doesn't really matter to me.
It looked like you took your tea and then pissed it.
So well, plumbing customers used to call it dishwater or a baby's piss.
Yeah.
So,
But I just want to say, like, putting milk in first, that's not correct.
I know
It
about
means
all
you're-
this.
It means you're a psychopath.
Well, I think you put milk in first if you're having tea from the teapot. So like proper high tea. I think you have it.
So
you're classy. That's why you're doing that.
yeah. But again, that's lime scale heaven round here.
Okay. So that's why you do it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a cleaner cup of tea. And then when you finish drinking your cup of tea, you haven't got all that scum down the side of your Colin Furze mugs available on the Colin Furze. So
Yeah, I heard you're giving away 1,000 mugs.
yeah, only
one
to
lucky
people
winner.
that put the milk in first. So I'll have hold of them for years.
Excellent. Okay, we can move it on. What was he?
Yeah, the other thing with the touchscreen radio,
Touchscreen, yeah.
I approve. In fact, even the heaters on cars now are crap.
Oh, yeah.
I get a little button to select. Do
Yeah.
I want it on the window? Do I want it on my face? Do I want it on my feet? Keep selecting. No, that's window and feet. No, that's face and window. No, that's just feet. Just feet. The best car, the car that has the best heating controls ever, E30 BMW.
Oh, because you got the lever.
You've got the knob, how powerful it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got all 3 levers,
Yeah.
window, face, feet.
Yeah.
And then you can just analogically control a little bit more. Yeah, we'll get a bit steamed up in here. Give it a tiny bit more window. Oh, my feet are a bit cold. Give it a bit, tiny bit, but I'll knock it back on my face because I don't want my skin drying out. And you can just, do you know what I mean? You can just adjust it. Yeah. This modern stuff's rubbish.
Yeah, I also think as well, you've got touchscreens and you've got heating controls in the touchscreen, so you actually need to go into a sub menu to then find it. We had that problem with the Skoda
In the
Kamiq.
Kamiq, that was another.
I would feel more comfortable using my phone because I know instinctively how to use it. Yeah, that's illegal, but using touchscreen isn't. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Oh.
No, not happy.
Oh, it's crazy. It's a bit like pubs shutting at 10 to stop coronavirus.
Oh no, because coronavirus stops at 10.
Well, no, it
starts
clearly
at 10.
starts
It
at
starts
10,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And then it waits until the morning and then
Yeah.
it stops again.
Exactly.
So-
yeah. Are there any other things apart from coronavirus related stuff that grind your gears? It can be like. It doesn't need
I'm
to be
generally
car
quite a
related.
positive person.
Middle
There are things, but I can never, I choose to bury them deep in the back of my soul, not bring them out on a regular basis.
I hear that's healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Block paving. It's not as good as you think it is. It's a bloody lot of work. The weeds.
No, that's because you haven't prepared the base.
Oh, I
properly.
did prepare the base, but stuff's always going to grow, isn't it?
Well, no, not if it's prepared properly.
No, because all the fluff comes, not the fluff, the moss comes off the roof and then lands on your drive and soaks
Well, you
in.
shouldn't put it next to a roof then, should you?
Well, it's just
You should
where my
put it in
drive
the-
is, mate.
Well,
I can't do anything about
tarmac.
it. What else? Car related generally.
It doesn't need to be car
I was going
related.
to say, is this the least car-related podcast
Yeah.
we've done?
Yeah.
We talk about tarmac.
We
and
talked about
weeds
cars,
coming.
No, it's a drive, isn't it? It's a drive.
True. Actually,
on.
Yeah, you proved
Give
me
me
wrong,
some.
mate.
Yeah. I don't like beeps. like constantly cars beeping at you, not get your seatbelt on, the doors open. No, you can't drive back a tiny bit with the door open.
Yeah, it stops it, doesn't
You
it?
just
I've
don't
done
let you do
before.
it. The car's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Do you know what is nice though?
Imagine that.
Old BMW, when you open your door and your headlights are still on.
Oh,
you know that?
yeah.
That I now like that sound. Yeah.
Do you do that a lot?
What? Well, do I make that noise myself a lot? All the time. All the time.
No, you forget to turn your lights off.
And I now do it because I like the noise. So I'll leave the lights on and then open the door, then
That's
hear the noise.
weird.
And be like,
That's
that's a
weird.
good noise. That's a good noise.
That's weird.
Why? It's good.
You intentionally leave your lights on.
Yeah,
open the
only
door.
for a second and then I switch them off.
Have you
Like,
ever heard an
really
MRI machine?
No.
Oh, mate, they make an awesome noise.
Yeah?
It's like a weird synth. It's like, wee, with a dong, dong,
Really?
sort of thing. 'Cause
So
I'm like,
dial-up.
It does sound like
it's like dial-up on steroids. Because I had my knee scanned after the BMX mashup a few years later, and they send you in there like they tell you, right, Mr. Furze, you've got to be really still. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So anyway, and then they put these headphones on. They said, oh, and I was like, oh, what are the headphones for then? And she said, oh, it's really loud. And I was like, oh, like what? What sort of loud? Sort of thing, can I listen to it? She's like, oh, no, it's like really loud. And the whole time I'm like keeping in and like, what? Sort of like trying to just peel them off slowly. So yeah, it's pretty cool sound.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Look that up if you like weird noises. MRI machine.
All right.
Right. We're going to move it on to another unpopular opinion, and it says here DeLorean.
Ooh.
So someone's got an unpopular opinion about
This
DeLorean.
is topical.
Ethan, do you want to read this one out?
Okay. It's from Dara?
Yeah, it'd be Irish, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you,
DeLorean,
Collins.
yeah.
Thank
Played
you
by
very much.
potato farmers in Belfast. Apparently.
Dear guys.
You got to do it in an Irish accent.
I'm not.
So we
do,
can, so we
you
can,
have to.
so you're gonna have to cut the whole thing.
I
for
can-
slightly stereotypical. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Dear guys and Ethan.
Way.
I'm My unpopular opinion is unpopular to the majority of petrol heads, but people who know it know how good it is. Of course, I'm talking about the Delorean Dmc 12.
Oh, Colin, hello. Oh, he's perked up.
It's twitching.
Where's this gonna go?
Loads of people think they're slow, unreliable, nasty to drive, etc. But I'm here to defend it. DeLoreans use a PRV engine used in rallying, pretty good engine. The problem with it was the mechanical fuel injection and the emissions regulation stuff bolted on by the Americans. It really hurt performance. The electronics had one problem, a wrong alternator, which made the battery deplete. This was actually fixed on later cars. All 80 sports cars were slow anyway. The DMC was decent. And they also managed to outsell Jaguar in the US for 3 years straight.
Was that before Jaguar actually came to the US?
All in all, the DMC-12 is a Lotus engineered Ital design?
Ital.
Ital design.
Nearly.
Sorry. Ital design bodied sports car. It looks stunning, and like most cars, if you maintain it, it's very reliable. Don't even lie, the gull wings are amazing. They also managed to outsell Jaguar in the US for 3 years straight. I'd rather have a DeLorean than an MX-5 any day.
Here we
Fight
go.
me, Alex.
Here we go. Very, very droll.
Start something here.
Colin, do you want to answer? Oh, yeah.
The engine is very underpowered. Like I said before, it couldn't pull the skin off a custard. I know there are things that you can do. There's an different exhaust you can get for it as well, which is supposed to up power. In terms of the actual drive, it's not as bad as people say it is. It doesn't have any power steering, and it's quite stiff. So bumps and stuff, it's quite clunky. But no, actually driving down the motorway, because when I went to do the flight training with Richard Browning with the jet suit, I drove it to Salisbury. It was actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I thought, it's all right. It's quite quiet. It's quite smooth. So, that's quite good. It's kind of heavy, and it's like the doors and stuff, when they shut, there's a reasonable amount of solidness about it, actually. Because I got this Corvette, which I kind of got and not getting.
Yeah.
79 Corvette, that's like fiberglass, and that thing just everything feels tinny about it. And
Yeah,
older
yeah.
cars generally do, don't they? Whereas there is a bit of weight to everything on the DeLorean. So in that sense, it's quite good. There are certain bits on it which you think like that was put together by somebody on a Friday who wanted to get home, because things don't quite fit that well. And some of the body panels on the later models, because I think some of the mold shrank apparently get really bad. So
Really?
the lines
Wow.
on the car can be quite terrible. But yeah, they're not as bad as they say they are.
Yeah.
They are very weird. The heater control is like a It's like some weird Rubik's Cube. I'll show you when you go outside. It's like a dial with 2 arrows on it.
Yeah.
So if you move it round to like defrost or whatever, and then the other one points up to something else, and it's like, well, if I wanted that and that, I can't snap the dial. I mean, generally it does make some sense. It's that why would you want it to do that and that? But then, should you? But oh my god, it's 1414.
Oh, what's that mean?
Well, my 14's my favourite number, so I set an alarm to go off every day at 1414, and I used to take a picture.
Okay, let's take a picture.
Well, no, I don't do it anymore because the camera on my phone's like all scratched and knackered.
Oh, okay, Ethan will take a picture.
So, but we do need a picture
My phone
of ourselves.
My phone is resting.
Come on, we need to take the 1414 picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why 14?
Well, my phone's off.
Because 14, I was born on the 14th.
Okay.
My son was born
Oh,
on the
1914.
14th. Yeah, no, back in the old day on the old Model T Ford. Yeah, my son was born on the 14th. My daughter was born on the 1st to 4th. My mum was born on the 14th.
Ah.
So there's a lot of 14s
I was born
in
on
my
the
life.
14th.
Were you?
You were?
4th of May, yeah.
I
There
like
you
Jack
go.
a bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thought it was a knob before that. but-
I've just clawed it back with the
Just clawed
birthday.
it back.
Yes.
I've got one as well. I have
we
the
go.
height of a 14-year-old.
Done.
Very
Ah,
good.
14,
You're
14.
welcome. You're welcome.
Happy 14.
No, it's actually
everyone.
1450.
Ah.
You're a minute.
Oh.
And I don't know if you noticed for the cute-eyed of you that all of my records have all been done on a 14th as well.
Oh,
Every single world record's either done on my birthday.
There's going to be
Or-
someone going through it going, well,
The,
technically, Colin, you didn't do it on that day.
The Dodgem was the 14th of March,
Oh.
which is the odd one out. But very good project.
Very good, very good. Okay, 1414. Nice. The more you know. Right, DeLorean, you love it. I can take it or leave it.
It's hard to clean. Cleaning
I
it's
bet,
difficult because it's like, something goes and touches it, you've got fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
So, but then
I'll
equally,
leave you a nice present when we leave.
everybody wants to touch it.
Yeah,
It's one of those, oh, look at that. Oh, cheers.
Cheeto fingers, like just been in one
Yeah.
six.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
It's definitely got a place, hasn't it? Like,
It
I
whether
think
you love
it's
it or
aged
hate
quite
it.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But then I always look at it and think, if it wasn't for the film, what would people think of it if it wasn't for the
Yeah,
film?
yeah.
Because the film's helped it massively.
Yeah.
But then still looking back on it, there's not many gull-wing door cars are quite, there's not many of them anyway. So, and the stainless steel things is quite unique. So it probably still would have some sort of classical place.
Yeah.
But the film's definitely helped. it.
Would you have one if the films didn't exist?
I don't know actually. But we don't know how we'd have ever seen it because without the film, it was only produced for a year. There's loads of cars probably that was only made briefly that we might not, there's just not on our radar. So, I don't know. But I mean, I still think it looks cool. So, it's an 80s car. It's all good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jobs are good. Right, we're going to do a quick section called What Does That Do? And Colin, you've got something.
I have.
And we're going to ask Ethan and Jack, what does that do?
Oh,
You brought this down, didn't
Got
you?
a
The
partner.
bloody things fell off it.
Yeah,
Do you know where it does?
The compressor's kicked in.
Oh,
on the
bloody
shelf.
hell. Oh, Christ.
it's all going to pot.
Oh,
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
I know what it
obviously-
does.
You know what it does?
Yeah.
Did you ask?
For the,
No, he told me.
For the,
Okay, this is some sort of weapon.
this is a bit like the police interview, isn't it? For the purposes of the tape.
Do you know, before I saw that bit of ruler, I said this must measure something. I'm going to give myself credit there.
Oh, there
Well
you go.
done.
Well done.
I will.
If I was to describe it, I would say, just haven't
Please
held
hold
it
the
yet,
line,
but
yeah.
it looks like a flat crossbow.
Oh, yeah.
Now-
looks quite fiddly.
Yeah, it is quite.
Grey in colour.
Is that burst? No, that's not.
Metal handles, they kind of go in and out of each other.
If people watch my videos, this is always on the wall in the background.
Do you use this a lot? Is this something you use?
Not particularly.
Okay.
No.
He's wound it back. This is a crossbow, isn't
Those
it?
are properly messy.
All I did was carry it down from your shed.
What
I
have you
didn't-
done to this, Alex? Kirsten?
Oh God, ruined it. We're never going to guess
Right,
it now.
right. So basically, if I pull these down,
Yeah.
look,
Okay.
there's that.
Say what you see, Ethan and Jack.
It's grey. It's... How long is it? 40 centimetres?
It does, it's the shape of a crossbow. Where the actual string would be is, or the bow bit would be some sort of ruler measurement attached to it.
Yeah.
And where you put it back is another sort of measuring. Can I have a look at it?
Yeah, here you go. You're trying to judge
Maybe
it
I
from
shouldn't
afar.
touch it.
Is it for measuring when you've bent metal or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah, it's a radius finder. So basically, what
okay.
you would do, you would push it up against something which is bent, and then it will tell you what the radius of the curve is.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah, can I borrow it?
I was going to bring the other one, which is external, so you can see what your guts really your gut. Yeah, so you can find out what the radius of your gut is. So,
we could do your arms.
Yeah.
You'd like to know that, sure.
it's for bigger things mainly. Like if you
Come on.
if you had like a sorry, I just wanted to dig at you. I was sorry, my logical head kicked in. Yeah, it's actually for bigger things. That won't work. Yeah, if you had like a massive oil drum that was like 20 foot or something, you push it up against that. And it's something that you can't physically measure.
Oh, okay.
And like when you'd like when I slip rope, like this, like for the roof look of this, like the bunker roof, if you pushed it up against that, it would tell you what if it was a whole circle, what the radius would be.
That's great.
So
very cool.
I've never seen one.
no, I hadn't seen them. When Bailey gave me my chop bandsaw and lathe, they brought it with them, and I was like, how's that? Something, and it's just mostly hung on the back of the shed and very rarely got used.
Except for today in the podcast. That pretty much concludes the 13th. Is it 13th? Yeah, 13th.
I wanted to be the 14th. You're doing Johnny Smith later.
Yeah, we are.
Can't you tell? Can't you say he's the?
We
13th?
can, yeah, should
we
do-
come back
swap
for the
them over?
114th podcast?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, or the 1,414th podcast. When we're all 60.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
How are you going to get younger?
Don't ever touch me again. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to your stories and also learning a bit more about Colin. Colin, do you have any final words?
Thank you for
encouragement?
listening.
What?
Encouragement.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to encourage
Keep
it.
listening. So,
I mean, people who look at you on YouTube and they're like, for whatever reason, I want to be like him. What would you say?
don't be afraid to try anything, even if people think you're a nutter.
Yeah.
Because like when I first started doing stuff, like the world records were a good way of making what I did socially acceptable, because it was like, for a world record, get it now, sort of thing, Whereas if you just I'm going to make a really fast toilet, I'm like, hey, dickhead, sort of thing. It's a bit like, because like social acceptance is really weird, how it makes a difference between people wanting to help you and people just thinking you're stupid. It's a bit like Christmas. Like if Christmas didn't exist and you said, right, let's all go chop a tree down and bring it in the house, and then we'll put like lights and stuff on it, and your missus would be like, you're not doing that, you're not bringing a blooming tree in the house, it'll drop stuff all over the floor, and it's madness. But everyone does it. It's pretty. Do you know what I mean? So it's you got to get past that a little bit, and then once you like now, I'll ring places up to buy stuff and things, and sometimes the person on the phone knows who you are, and then all of a sudden you get more help and you get more assistance. And part of me is like,
And you get more free shit.
you do, but then part of me is like, I wish people got the same level of assistance sometimes that I get, even when they're not me, because then that might make the world a difference to some people. But I also get that,
We can
quite
change
tricky.
that. You can email Colin and ask him your
yeah. Can you ring up Screwfix and ask for some 2-inch screws?
We'll leave Colin's telephone number and address in the description below, so feel free just to either visit or call, right? Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to the podcast. You can follow Colin on Instagram and wherever else at Colin Furze.
Yeah, Instagram's real Colin Furze, because there was loads of fake ones.
Yeah.
So they've all gone there though, mostly. Then it's Colin Furze on everything else, I think.
Perfect. You've got a book as well, don't you?
Oh, there is a book. Yeah, if you've got any kids up to about the age of 12, there's a little book with little experiments and stuff. Try and get them into building stuff. So that's all
Maybe
good.
I should look into that.
Yeah.
I could probably learn a thing.
Oh, good. Have you got a spare one I can give as an anniversary present?
Might get you slightly out of the cart.
Yeah,
So
that would really help.
I'll find you something. Don't worry.
He'll knock you, Uncle Furze will knock you something up.
So I keep making that noise, don't I? That's actually irritating myself now.
Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram at AutoAlex.
I'm at Jack W. Joy.
I'm at Ethan Smale, and you can follow Car Throttle at Car Throttle everywhere. Like Bebo, maybe we're on there.
Bieber?
Yeah, Bebo. Remember Bebo?
No.
You remember Bebo?
Bebo?
Yeah, it was like some weird. It was like when MySpace was.
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
I tell you what, right?
Yeah.
You want to take heed from MySpace. MySpace disappeared.
Yeah.
I think was about 2 months. it went from everyone using it to Facebook in 2 months. And that's why I think it's always scary to have all your eggs in one basket. Because let's face it, if YouTube decides we're all idiots, we're back to plumbing.
Yeah.
Because the other the other platforms, is that, they don't have the ad revenue. You have to get sponsored to put stuff on. So I was like thinking, YouTube's it's scary to think everything's based on.
Also, if people could DM us, we are looking for a long wheelbase van.
High top as well.
High top.
Not that I need a high top van.
No, but because we've got an exciting project coming up. Yeah. So if you're looking to sell one,
can I tell everyone what it is? Because you've ruined my DeLorean one.
I guessed it. I mean, come on, it's pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you don't know. There's always added Furze extras. Do you know what I mean?
Just
You'll
to remind
never
you,
guess.
He's going to make an off-road kind of...
It's not going to be off-road.
What? Go on.
I'm just tripping you out now, man.
No, please. Carry on.
So, I can't carry on. I was going to say something else about something then. It was really insightful and amazing, but it's gone. It's gone.
We want a van because we want to do... we want to build a podcast van. And
You don't want a high top, mate.
Why?
It's a pain in the arse to park and do anything with.
High top? What,
we rented one when we did Gadget Geeks, and we had to take this blooming vending machine into London to film. They had this massive Merc Sprinter.
Yeah.
You couldn't park it anywhere. You
big,
couldn't get stuff. It was just a pain. Absolute pain.
Yeah, but he said...
What you want yourself? A nice little Bedford rascal.
Oh, don't say that. He
Hey?
loves them.
So you can stomp on the brakes and nearly do endos on it. I mean, you might have, you're nice and cosy in the back there.
Or a Suzuki Carry.
Maybe post-corona with the old social distance.
We might have to do that.
You might
just lay it down.
Each have your own rascal.
If we get one, do you want to give us a hand, converting it into a little podcast?
Yeah, we can do something.
Yeah?
So,
Nice one.
put a bit of expanding foam in it, boy.
Fill the back
with us in there.
Yeah, I can mould seats around it.
That'd be amazing. Oh, yeah. So, as Ethan said, we want a van. We don't want to pay a lot. Or we don't want to pay, right? We want to
I'll pay something.
We'll pay something. Shout outs. Anyway, yeah. Have you said where people can find you?
Yes.
Okay, and you?
Yeah, and also send your stories to
Where are they
carstories
finding
at
this
carthrottle.com.
podcast, though?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
Does anything come up on screens or anything when you look at it?
Yeah.
I don't listen to it.
Yeah,
I
we
don't-
put little.
Sorry, what?
We put little.
You don't listen to...
I don't have Spotify or anything.
Oh, do you not? Okay.
No.
All right.
Too busy rock and rolling, mate, in the shed.
Yeah?
I ain't got time for stuff like that. Look, I like it when people come up to me, have you seen that thing on telly? I'm like, no, I don't watch telly.
I asked you if you watched the Yorkshire Tea versus
I know.
PG Tips.
And I've never heard of it. I didn't know anything about it.
What, PG Tips? You've never heard of
I've
it?
heard of PG Tips. Yeah. Dust. Dust, mate. So, and I thought that before Yorkshire Tea sent me stuff.
fair.
So that's a genuine Colin Furze opinion.
Okay.
So I'm quite consider. Basically, sorry.
Bear with us,
Sorry
bear
to
with us.
stretch this. I know some people got to get to bed. Well, mate, he's late now. His wife's well asleep. she's literally, are you coming out, William? I'm ready. He's got bloomers on and he's been down there for hours.
He's just finished taking a picture to send to us.
Oh man, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I used to be able to judge what sort of cup of tea I was going to get from the decor of the house when I was a plumber.
Really?
I used to walk in and I'd say to Rick, "Can be too strong. There won't be enough sugar, and it'll have lime scale." And then
What
I'd
about
say,
matey with a Hoover?
Hoover? Don't ask for a cup of tea for somebody who can't hear anything. He won't know
'cause
when
you
the
probably
kettle's
just
boiled.
Do you know what
I mean, there's so fridge
Nightmare.
might not even be switched on. There's
bloody
so
hell.
many.
We did the same thing turning up here. We're like, yeah, milk first, piss water.
Oh, I love a bit of banter. I'm quite proud of the fact you can't offend me. I think I've got such broad shoulders. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've worked on building sites and stuff. And I've had there's this old boy called Wiggo who works for this building firm in Stamford. And it was like, he used to proper go to town on some people. They'd be going home crying. I mean, nowadays he'd be classed as proper abuse. But it would just water off a duck's back with me. It was just fun.
I thought you were.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
Well,
That is the
your
bravest thing you've ever
your
said.
wife's presents just gone down.
Just a bag of shit.
Anyway, should we leave it there?
I was going to ask you before this thing, are we allowed to swear? And I realised quite soon into
quickly,
it. Anything goes on here. Because I don't swear in my videos.
Yeah, this is a side of.
Do you know what I mean? I
maybe
nearly
we should
thought,
swear.
should I not swear as well to keep the vision alive that Colin is child friendly?
Oh, well,
you know,
not
Then you
still
thought that
anymore.
because
People,
it.
yeah, that's the kids. They're not going to be listening to this shit, are they? Hey.
Oh, there we go. But that's how we can promote this podcast. The kids, they're not going to listen to this shit anyway. Colin Furze, everybody. Thank you very much for letting us film the podcast in your bunker.
That's all right, boy.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
And,
you too. It's good to have people. I ain't seen anybody for ages.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.